Hey guys, J.I. Rowley here one more time. I just wanted to have a discussion about PulseCon. Just wanted to do a little recap of what we saw, and to be honest, I'm very excited about what's coming. Haven't done this before, so let's see if we can walk through it together. So I stopped collecting in 1987, but for many, that was just the beginning of the golden era. Now, of course, I might disagree. I love the 84 to 86 as maybe my favorite, but for many guys of the next generation, 86, 87 was barely the beginning, and even into the 90s. So one of the figures that for me represents 87, 88 is Starduster. I never had him, but he was part of this really cool idea. Picture this. You're watching TV and all of a sudden there's a commercial for a G.I. Joe cereal. Now, I probably would have loved that, or maybe not. I was more of a Fruit Loops guy myself, but definitely the idea of a G.I. Joe cereal sounds really cool. But what went one step further is that there was a special mail away associated to this cereal, and that's where Starduster comes in. Now, he looks really cool. I never had him as a kid, so definitely not a figure that I was necessarily looking for or hunting for, and was not expecting and classified anytime soon, but there he is, really well made. They even have, some pictures of him holding a box of cereal and even eating some cereal. But anyway, my point is, he is really nice, and for many people, this is, as I mentioned before, the golden era of G.I. Joe. He is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. I think you guys know how I feel about exclusives. Now, I'm a fan channel retailer, so I have to admit that, full disclosure here, this might not be considered an unbiased opinion, but I personally have never been a fan of exclusives that you can only get at one place. I think every figure should be available everywhere for everyone. So it is what it is. The business is set up the way it is. So if you want him, you have to go to Pulse. If you don't get it through Pulse, then you'll have to get it through a third-party reseller. But, there is no other official authorized retailer in the US, as far as I know. Canada, there's the possibility of GameStop. I know last year a lot of PulseCon exclusives were available at GameStop. So there's a chance there for you in Canada. But as far as I know, for the US, it's Hasbro Pulse or nothing. What's cool is right after that, they went on to reveal the 4 mainline pre-orders. Now, these 4 are available at every retailer. And let's just take a quick look. Let's start with Leatherneck. I think that he looks really nice. Really a cool callback to the original figure. I mean, he's a Marine. What more could you want? I love the fact that he's got accessories that you can take off. I love that you're taking advantage of the 6-inch scale. You've got hats that you can take off, glasses that you can put on and take off, on top of the other accessories. He looks nice. I think he's a favorite that people have been waiting for, just as much as our next guy, Dial Tone. Dial Tone looks great here. Lots of accessories. And modern, updated. I mean, who else has saw some of this information and said, why is he putting his microphone in his eye? But apparently, I guess it's not a microphone. That's what I always thought. When I played with my 80s dial tone, I used to always put that right up against his mouth like it was a microphone of some kind. But anyway, now we know what it is. But I love that there seems to be a little laptop thing, computer keyboard that pulls out of his backpack. That looks great. But Joes are no fun without some bad guys to fight. And wow, Zandar looks great. Now this is a figure I can't wait to hold because they seem to have put so much detail in his face. He's got a scar on his neck, something obviously that the original figure did not have, but it just adds personality. It adds depth to the character, in my opinion. Really nice loadout. Notice that the tone is very dark. His blue is very dark. He's got the original, Zandar colors, but they're different. They're muted, darker. What that tells me? Retro Zandar. So So I think we can all expect that the retro card is getting more and more popular. So I think they've set him up really nicely to be able to have a nice Zandar now and a retro Zandar later for those who want more 80s figure accurate Zandar. And last but not least is the Saw Viper. Again, a character I don't really know. I wasn't collecting at this time, but I know a few people have been looking forward to him. He looks pretty nice. Seems to have a nice loadout. And, you know, I'm sure that a lot of guys will love to army build this guy. But just before I wrap it up, just want to mention that usually they have name-only reveals. And I believe they were going to skip. No, they did not skip the name-only reveal. There was a name-only reveal. And instead of a name of a character, they said the hunt for the mass device. What does that mean? It could mean so much. Now, obviously, something related to that first G.I. Joe miniseries, 5-episode cartoon, The Mass Device. But what does the hunt for the mass device mean? Does that mean it's a scene? Like there's going to be like a play set, which would be really cool. Something like what Super 7 did, of having, let's say, Snake Eyes plus the man that rescues him and Timber. Or is it the G.I. Joe equivalent of Build-A-Figure? Part of me hopes that that's not the case. It could be cool. And I buy them all anyway, so it wouldn't really impact me. But what if they decided to go the Build-A-Figure route, but instead of building a figure, you've got parts of the mass device? Something that I believe was done already in Modern. Not something that I'm a fan of, because I don't like being obligated to buy everything to build, you know, something else. But I know some people might think it's cool. And like I said, personally, I buy almost all of them anyway, except for subgroups, repaints. But if it's mainline, I don't know. I guess it could work out for some people. And I'll leave you with this. There were 2 render reveals. There were 2 characters that were revealed by render, which means that they just showed a digital image of the figure. And I think a lot of you will be very excited if you haven't heard yet. So we've got Heavy Duty. He looks awesome. His accessories definitely look heavy duty, but Law and Order, he's the one that I think everyone's really happy about. I mean, that dog looks great. Love that they did the 2 heads like they did with Mutton Junkyard. And of course, everybody's been looking forward to their favorite military police officer. That's it for me, guys. Just wanted to go through those with you, do a little recap of what we saw today at PulseCon. And, you know, any questions, put them in the comments. I'll try to answer them. Maybe somebody else can as well. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. Yo, Joe.